So anytime that I ever try to paint anything ever in my whole life, it gets up. Yo, what's going on, guys? So I smashed into a tree really hard with my Turbo Levo, and I ended up ovalizing the steer tube where it goes into the crown here, and it was creaking pretty gnarly. So RockShox is absolutely amazing, and I got set up with all new uppers, new steer, new crown, new stanchions. My charger's the same, but all this is all new, man. They even threw in some new seals, but my lowers were OG, original, and they were messed up. So, man, they're beat up, and I mean, just cosmetically, my brain's not working. But I'm gonna sand these all down with 220 and spray them white with some appliance epoxy, and see what this turns out to be like. Oh man, we'll see what happens. But guys, if you want to mask anything off, get this freaking Glad press and seal stuff. It's like slightly adhesive. It's Glad wrap, but slightly adhesive, and it really works good for taping stuff off, man. It's great. I'm gonna sand it, clean it, paint it. So let's do some time lapse. Alright, so after a lot of sanding, I think they're pretty much all scuffed up. So now I'm going to clean everything off with some isopropyl alcohol. Just make sure everything's nice and clean. And then this was just to protect when I was sanding, but I'm going to take this stuff and mask off everything I don't want to get sprayed. So the proper way to do this would be to pull the lowers off, but RockShox just rebuilt these shocks all sweet, and I don't want to pull them apart because they know what they're doing more than I do. So I'm going to tape everything off and paint it the hard way. Alright guys, so all the masking took an incredibly long time, but it's solid. I think as long as I spray it good, now that I got all my hand oils all over here, it'll end up turning out perfect. So let's get to hanging and spraying. Alright guys, so we got the fork hung. Make sure you cover all your special things in your dirty garage, and make sure you wear your Dollar Tree mask that does nothing for paint fumes. Also, make sure your wife moves her car from the driveway so you don't get overspray all over it. So let's see what happens. Guys, we're on coat 2 and it's looking good, but I don't know if you could see this. These are some gnarly scrapes from a crash that I did a while back. I thought I had sanded all that out, but unfortunately I didn't, and that's gonna come right through, man. So nice clean forks, but some old school scratches. Maybe I do 3 or 4 coats and it might cover it up, so we'll see what happens. Alright guys, we're at coat number 3, and I could still see those marks, but everything else is looking pretty damn good. I could see this weird stuff always happens to me whenever I paint. I don't know if you guys could see that, but it almost starts like triangulating and peeling. I don't know what the heck that is, man, but every time I paint anything ever, that happens. It's really hard to see, and that's right on the most important part of the bike that looks great. So I'm gonna keep adding coats to that so it looks even crappier, because that's how I do things. So anytime that I ever try to paint anything ever in my whole life, it gets up. And I don't know what's happening here, but now that I got all my hand oils all over here, this whole side is just completely bubbling up. Everything else is prime time. It looks like a powder coat job, but this specific part is just bubbling to pieces. I don't know if there's oil on there or what, but it completely screws up this whole entire thing. Everything honestly looked so good. Even those scratches, those came out, you know, you could barely see them. Everything looks great, and for some reason this is just bubbling up on this side. I must have had oil on there or something. Started off as a little tiny speck and then just started spreading. So leave a comment and let me know what I did. Let me know what I do every time I ever paint, because honestly, dude, every time this happens, super disappointing, because I mean, everything else looks amazing on this bike. I rubbed everything down with alcohol. I mean, I did the same treatment to every part of this fork, and everything else is perfect except for that part. So awesome. Alright guys, so I'm pretty freaking stoked the way that these came out. Ended up doing a little bit of a sticker bomb, because there's definitely some spots on the paint that did some weird stuff. I have no idea why, but that's just my luck with painting. Yeah, now it kind of ties in with the dirt jumper, so pretty stoked, man. That was where that big mess up was, so that was where the first sticker went on, and I decided, I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna bomb it, man. But yeah, I think it ties in good. Next up, probably do white handlebars instead of the silver. I think that would look badass, man. Maybe white Specialized sticker. But overall, I'd say if that's something that you guys feel like jumping into, maybe do a little bit better of a prep job than I did. I don't know. But thanks for checking it out. If you guys want to paint your forks, it's possible. Later.